Alright, well here's going to be the next project. Kind of mostly got the back office done, need to put a desk on it. And we want to put a couch along this wall. This is where the dinette was, and now the bottom of the dinette's in there. I'm going to use the other half of the dinette to come all the way along this wall. Just so happens it's right at 82 inches, and that's exactly what our couch is. And then I'm going to have to come out 28 inches from the wall. It's going to kind of narrow down the walk area a little bit, but it'll give us a place to lay there, and then also over here on this couch, and then also back in the back office. Alright, well, into the work area. This is what I'm going to be starting with. This was the bench that came out of the trailer initially. And so what I'm going to do is I need to make it a little bit longer this way, and then I'm going to have to extend it out further. The extended, I'm not too worried about how to make this look good coming out about another foot or so. So we're at about 20, and I got to come out another 8 inches here. So, and then of course for the distance, it's at 42, and I'm going to have to come all the way out to about 82. Here's a picture of a little booger that shot a nail through my finger. And here we go. I'll try to do a few clips here and there as I'm building this thing out. It's just going to kind of follow along their little light framework, so we keep the weight down in the trailer. Lightweight, but try to make it sturdy. Okay, I've been doing a lot of working with what you have, and so instead of buying any new material, I've been using stuff I have from when I took all this out. So as I said earlier, I'm going to use this piece. I had this extra piece, so what I'm going to do is use it, because it'll match, to extend out and across the front here. And it's going to be the exact size I need, same color, everything, so it'll be easy to build out. And the colors will all match, although one thing that's going to be a little bit squirrely is the grain goes a little different way, but I don't think it's going to be real noticeable down low like that, and the angle you're going to be setting it in the trailer. So, and no cost, the same material, just reusing it in a different way. Okay, so I finished making all the cuts and adjustments. Added just a little piece here onto the end, and that looks pretty good. I've got a couple of like caps that I'm going to try to put on it to cover up some of the seams a little better. And as you can see, it runs all the way back to the wall now. Of course, I'm going to put some more bracing in it, but this is just the first part of putting it in. It looks like it's going to work out well. Big enough for a couch to go there. And back here in the office project, I've got the board, and it is off by just a tiniest bit, so I'm going to have to trim it down just a hair to get it to fit. And I'm not sure if it's the wall that's not completely straight, or if it's the board that's not completely straight. So if you go to your local hardware store and they rip down the plywood like I had them do, you may have to square it up a little bit. Again, I'll be checking that to see. Now on this, I took a stud finder and found the studs in the wall, and I attached a brace back here on the back wall, screwing the screws into the brace where the 2x4s, or probably 1x4s, that are in the wall back here behind the wall plate, so that'll be braced up. And there'll be a little more to follow here as we go along. Of course, also screwing it down to the floor, trying to make sure that it's staying straight. And for the most part, it looks pretty straight. There's also a line on the floor that I'm following so that I can make sure I got that straight. Okay, so the cuts have been made. Just had to trim it down just a little bit to get it to fit right. Had to cut a little notch there just to go around that board. And of course, like I said, I drilled the holes so that you can put your finger in and lift it up to get up what's underneath it. I'm gonna cross brace, put in some maybe storage areas, something like that, and also think about putting a little folding table here that'll fold up and down. Still trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do all that. And again, put a hole in this one. So now you can see we've created a big storage area underneath here. And then also the other board I cut for the desk, it was off just by a little bit, and now it just fits snug as a bug in a rug. So next thing we're going to have to do is figure out what we're going to cover that with. And we're looking at probably the peel and stick laminate flooring, maybe. Looking at some different ideas. I've also got to come up with some stuff to trim this out, because I'm not real sure you know, what I'm going to do with that, I may just stain it. Still thinking through that part. More to follow, folks. Okay, sorry if it's a little bit sideways. Tried to adjust it best I could and hook it onto a couch, because I'm doing this videography stuff by myself here. So thought it might be kind of interesting to watch as I try to bring the couch in the door. So how many people bring their living room couch in and make it part of their RV? Probably not many. I'll be back. A little windy today. You may be asking, why am I bringing this in and what in the world is this guy thinking? Always check your fitment. Make sure everything fits the way you think it's going to fit. So I'm checking this out to see how well it's going to sit before I go to bracing everything up. I want to make sure I have just a little bit of an overhang here, so when you're setting in it, sit gently because it's not braced up, that it'll sit comfortably. And of course, what we're planning to do is there'll be pillows. Oops. It'll be fun watching me drop stuff everywhere. There'll be pillows along here, so of course you won't see that brown once all this is filled out and made pretty. Looks like it's going to be pretty cool. Pretty comfortable little couch. Let's see how the layability is here. Gently, of course. Oh yeah, I think I could see many happy hours of watching television. I'm going to prop the head up a little bit here, and good night all. So it looks like we're looking pretty good. Just a hair out more here would be a little better, but I think also if we, because of our pillows, we don't want them sliding off while we're going down the road. They may be tucked back in there, but I think that is right on the money. Of course, I'll have to show it to Laura, my professional opinioner. And so there we go, honey. You can see what that looks like. And I think it's going to do pretty well. A living room couch. Just took the cover off our couch and brought it in here. And this is what I'm talking about, lining it up here to where it sticks out just a little bit over the edge. So, you know, you don't see any of that ugly stuff under it. And of course, I still may do something underneath it just to make it look nicer. Just because you can kind of see it if you look, but not much. I'm going to call that almost a success, or pretty close to success. Laura wants a shelf on it. I've got some brackets I'll show here in a little bit. What I'm thinking about doing is mounting the shelf right here, so it'll lay down flat against this, and then when you flip it up, it'll flip up right about here, and you'll be able to set your drinks on it or what have you, but it won't get in the way unless you're sitting on the couch and somebody's trying to walk by while you're sitting there enjoying your cold drink. Then it may not be fun. Yeah, I gotta admit, I've never appreciate all you guys out here do this stuff by yourself until now. It's a trick getting the camera set up just the way you want it. Got these on Amazon, little fold-out brackets, and I'll post down here where the part numbers and such are. It says rated for 500 pounds. That's pretty impressive. So it's got a little click right here, so you lift it up, the click drops down. So again, just trying things out to see how they'll fit, how they'll look. So if this is mounted this way, and you had your table, of course there'd be two brackets, one here, somewhere along here. We'll have to figure out about where, probably down this way just a little bit. It'll be mounted here, and then your tray will be mounted here. So then when you press the buttons, your tray would come down out of the way and set almost flush with that. Not quite, it's going to stick out about that far. And then as you open the bracket, it'll lift up, and your tray will be right here, kind of like a little handy TV tray. So this is one idea we've had, and I had, and Laura had. Laura actually came up with the idea, and then of course I try to work to figure out ways to perfect it. So just a little simple bracket should be more than enough to hold a cup of coffee, and they'll just mount like this, and then they just fold down out of the way when you're not using them. Also bought this bracket here, and this is an adjustable bracket, and I'm going to mount it up underneath this table because my concern is the weight right here when you get up on top of this, and my idea is that this leg will fold back up out of the way up underneath, and then you can fold it back down, and once I get it mounted I'll show that better. But that's another one of the little projects we got going. And again, I'll show the part number on it, and that's just because I tend to over-engineer things sometimes. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, just because I just don't know when you put weight on this. Yeah, I want it really sturdy, because this is also going to act as a bed, because that is right at about 6 foot, so big enough for most people to lay on, and it's as wide as this couch is. Actually a little wider than the couch is. So if the couch is big enough to sleep on, that'll be big enough to sleep on. So now we've increased our area again. That was a bunk bed, but now it's a bunk bed and an office. And a small child could sleep on this lower bunk area if needed. Full size up there, another one over here. Bed folds out. Of course, the top, as I've said before, comes down. I guess I could try to show that real quick too, how that works. So there's 2 boards here that I just cut, and this just lowers down, and you fold back the pad, and you have another bed. And 2 people could fit up here, one very comfortably, or 2 young kids could fit up there just fine. And it's really easy to lift it up, get it out of the way. If you move your pad back, of course, it's really easy. You hit yourself in the face. And Dave, you're right. Maybe some interesting videos. I videotape myself all the time. Just like that, and it's up out of the way. I'm 6'2". Okay, not really, but I say 5'11". Laura argues with me, says I'm 5'9", 5'10". You know, I'm over 5'5". How's that? Now, seriously though, I'm 5'11" with these shoes on for sure, maybe close to 6. And as you can see, I have plenty of headroom here. And as I sit down, I have plenty of room all the way back. Even if I sit all the way back in the corner, I've got plenty of headspace. Not going to hit my head. Got plenty of room to work. Plenty of room for 2 people to sit here and eat. You can put another fold-up chair here, so you could actually seat 3 easily. Maybe 4 if you're really comfortable sitting there close to each other. Got a beautiful view out the window of the ocean. Okay, no, my house. But hopefully, as things progress and we'll have a nice ocean view, I'll be able to sit right here and work, eat, play cards, what have you, and sleep on this. Once I brace it up a little bit more, I really don't want to climb up on it just yet. Kind of not totally sure I trust it. I'm sure if you get up on it easy, it'll be fine to get up on. So I'll just do a little example of it, very gently. And as I said, plenty of room to lay here and sleep. So it also adds another bunk option to this. So one space, multiple uses, people. One space, multiple uses. That is the idea. Get as much use as you can out of a tiny space.